Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to everybody in the room, and good afternoon to everybody watching on Zoom across Canada. Welcome to the ICA's 2025 AGM. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Scott Knox. I'm President and CEO of the ICA. Now in my 8th year of being here in Canada and running the ICA. A huge thank you to all of you for your continued support, and a huge thank you to those agencies who've joined us in believing what we're doing and what we're starting to achieve here in the marketplace.
Thank you, Scott. For those of you who know me, I am a data guy, grew up in the CRM side of the business, customer data, transactions, all of those things. And I think, being part of the DDB network for over a decade, I was really indoctrinated into Peter Fields and Les Binet. I had the chance to sit and chat with Les Binet numerous times. And what I've done then is kind of taken on the role of producing for some time in the next 2 or 3 months, the 2024 report for the alchemy of effectiveness.
And so we wanted to invite Ryan to come and join us and take you through the grand FE winning case study for FE 2024. So without further ado, the marvellous man that is Ryan Timms.
We just want to be. When Josh and I talked about this, we're like, we're not going to just present the case. Everybody can access the case. It's a really well crafted case, and that counts for a lot. But it's long, and we don't have time for that kind of thing. So we thought we'd present more of the story around the case. We thought that might be a bit more of value, especially for the folks in this room. And the truth is, when we started down a path of kind of, I would suggest like resurrecting the profile of McCann within Canada, it was really hell-bent on showing up at all the award shows that matter, particularly creative ones. But I think what we're particularly proud of now, and I'll kind of unpack it, is as Scott mentioned, 7 different clients represented within this past FE. So for us, the fact that we've started to work systemically across the entire agency on effectiveness regardless of the client was sort of the thing that we really hold up as being the thing we're most proud of in this past year's performance.
I think one of the things that I've loved about working in this business for as long as I've been doing it is the opportunity to learn, right? You get a new client, you get to dive into the category, learn a ton of new stuff. This was not the easiest category to immerse oneself in, right? The subject matter is heavy a lot of the time. If you think of a lot of the amazing charities out there, folks you've worked with, you break your leg, you go to a children's hospital, you have a young child who has some terrible disease, you're brought to the hospital. What's really powerful about Kids Help Phone is it's one of the only where the kid themselves actually has to identify that they have something and then reach out to the organization. Really, the premise of Feel Out Loud, which was the campaign platform to speak to kids, was just to normalize seeking support, right? The idea that regardless of how big, how small, how silly, how serious, how dire and immediate, or how long term, there's no reason not to reach out to someone and share.
Thank you everybody for coming. It's great to see so many faces here and so many members of the board, old and new. Last year when I stood here as the new chair, I talked about how excited I was about the ICA and about the mission of the ICA to positively shape the business environment for agencies to thrive, and how as a business founder and owner, how important that was for me and how committed I was to that. And really our mission to focus on the things that really matter to agencies now. And any agency, just want to be really clear on that. Big, small, network, indie, we are working hard to really do a lot of things, and I want to talk a bit about that today.
It's been an absolute privilege to work with the ICA, but more importantly, how it's evolved over time. I mean, this presentation that you saw this morning, you wouldn't have seen 10 years ago. The thinking, the leadership that comes from the board, but obviously Scott and his team and Leah is incredible when you think about 6 people. I mean, really, it's stunning the kind of things we've achieved. And where it's going, the government initiatives. We've had a lot of conversations around AI and what we can do as an industry. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'll be around to bug you for free stuff.
we actually have a really brilliant guest, and I'm really pleased to introduce her today. Lisa MacLeod has played a number of really important roles in the government of Ontario since 2006. We were actually laughing earlier about my agency's broken heart love affair, and she said that pretty much represents her last 20 years in politics, which...
Tim Beebs, like I just think of all of these ads that you create and the stories that you tell about Canadians and what makes us Canadian. And right now we need a story, and we need hope, and we need inspiration. And honest to God, you guys have that in spades. Like, you know how to tell the story of Canada better than anybody.